Hi, Joe Kehrig with the Kehrig Real Estate Team, and this is your San Ramon Valley update. And what we're going to talk about today is the headlines that we're seeing, and really, are they more to terrify or to clarify what's going on? So we're going to jump into that. First off, look at this first slide. New listings are up over the last few years, and take a look at them, but go back to 2017, because all we're hearing is, oh my God, there's so many more listings. We're going to go into a recession, a real estate recession. There's so many more listings coming on. But when you look at 2017, 18, 19, and even 2020, there's actually less listings now than there was during the time when, the market was crazy with 3% interest rates. But it is growing, and we're going to get into that. Look at this total listing count, increased by 17% compared to last year. But it's still lower than it was during the 2017, 18, 19, and 20. But here's what's happening, because listings are increasing. You can see when they project it out, by the end of this year, we're probably going to be up to what, i.e. the last normal market was, which was 17, 18, and 19. Well, really what we're doing is real estate runs in 5-year cycles. And that's what we've done now, is we're at the end of our 5-year cycle when prices went way up, interest rates went way down, and now things have settled back, and we're back to where we were, 5 or 6 years ago, i.e. with the prices being a lot higher though than what they were, because they jumped, even though they've maybe gone down a little bit, they jumped during those years, what we call the Disneyland years, probably 50%. And home price appreciation, you can see it's decelerating. You can see after 2022, after 2021, it went way down, then it went back up, and then it went down. So prices are kind of decelerating. People think that we're hitting the wall. We're not hitting the wall. Like the example I love, when you go around a corner and you're going over the speed limit, and then you see a police officer, a half mile up the road, you don't slam on your brakes, you just decelerate. And that's what the real estate market's doing right now. There's 23 indicators, 23 big players out there that basically, want to project what they think prices are going to do. You can see 21 out of the 23 feels that prices are going to continue to go up, but more moderately, and where the average is probably being 3%. In this area, we'll probably see 3 to 5% appreciation, though it is, as you saw on the other slide, kind of decelerating a little bit. But here's the thing is, home prices are still a lot of pending sales up there. And that's the thing I'm going to tell you. If you're a seller and you look at the pendings and the actives, what we're telling our clients that we're meeting with, because you look at the pendings, and almost all the pendings are selling at 100% of asking, and they're on the market less than 2 weeks, where the average time on the market for the active listings are 60 days. So what it tells you, you got to come out of the gate looking good, priced right, and you'll sell. And there's a lot of them selling. But if you're not priced right, or you don't look good, you're going to sit there and eventually drop your price, and probably end up getting less than if you would have started at the right price in the beginning. Now, we might be going into a recession, not a real estate recession, but going into, an overall recession with the tariffs and everything that's going on. But look at this chart. 4 out of the last 6, well, really 4 out of the last 6 prices went up during the recession. 1991, they stayed about the same, but 2008, obviously the Great Recession, home prices really dropped. But for the most part, so what does recession mean for the real estate market? Well, recession for the real estate market means prices are probably going to go up. Look at this. Look what happens to interest rates during the recession. The last 6 recessions, they all went down. Interest rates went down. Why? Because when the market gets tough, when things get ugly out there, the Federal Reserve lowers the discount rate to try to spur the economy, to get us out of the recession, and interest rates follow the T-bill. And so for the most part, when you look at the last 6 recessions, every recession in the last 6 of them, interest rates have gone down. What happens when interest rates go down? Prices go up. The last 30 years, prices have gone up when interest rates go down. So now you have a situation where the last 6 recessions, interest rates go down. So what's that going to tell you for prices? Well, it's going to tell you, if you're a buyer, I would get out there and be buying right now. because you can always refinance as interest rates go down. But if you wait and interest rates go down, well, the last 30 years tells us prices are going to go up. Let's look at our area now. San Ramon market. You're going to see this pretty consistently, and it's really been the last 6 weeks or so, where inventory is going up and up and up, and pendings have stayed about the same. They stay pretty close. So homes are still selling. But again, now where, if you remember, during the crazy times, we actually had more pendings than actives. In a normal market, a seller's market, still considered a seller's market if you have half as many pendings as you do listings. Well, now we're getting to a point where we have somewhere around a third of the pendings as the listings, which is now getting more of a normalized type market. The nicer homes are selling. The ones that aren't set up, not as nice, priced too high, are not selling. So you're going to see inventory going up. Same thing in Danville. But look at the pendings. The pendings are staying pretty consistent. You know, so people are still buying homes. There's just more to choose from. So that's why they expect home sales to go up in 2025 compared to the last 2 years, because people are still buying. There's still a lot of demand, and there's more choices out there for a buyer to buy. Alamo market, you can actually see pendings went up a little bit. Listings went way up. And Dublin, the same type of thing. Listings went up, pendings went down. So it's definitely getting, it's not quite a buyer's market. There's just a lot of choices for buyers out there. Again, we're still lower than what we were, in, the 17, 18, 19. But by the end of the year, we'll probably be equal to those, back through our 5 or 6 year cycle, back into a normal market. But expect, because we probably are heading into a recession, at least if you listen to the experts, which obviously means interest rates are going to go down. Matter of fact, the Federal Reserve and remember the Fed rate doesn't tie in directly with the mortgage rates, but there is a ripple effect. And the Fed had talked about doing 2 price discounts in the rest of this year. Now they're talking about 5. So you're probably definitely going to see interest rates go down a little bit. But again, like we talked about, prices are going up. So if I was a buyer, I'd be out there looking at the market now where we have lots of choices. But look at this. The amazing part about the market, you can see everything's still selling for 100% of asking, and those really aren't with price reductions, because the average time on the market for all of these areas have been less than 2 weeks. Well, if you're on the market less than 2 weeks, you're not dropping your price. The ones that are dropping the price are the ones that overpriced have been on the market for 60 days. So if you put your home on the market, it shows nice, it's priced right, you're going to get around asking price, and that's what this is telling you. Now, remember, every neighborhood is different. Please don't hesitate to reach out, if you want just, again, to sit down and get a little bit more information. I always tell people our job, 80% of the pieces of the puzzle, if you're deciding to make a move or buy, are personal. But the 20%, we can add that in, talk to you about the market, what your home would sell for, what there is out there to buy. So we can give you the rest of the puzzle so you can make whatever decision is best for you. Reach out, Joe Kehrig, cell number 925-487-6838, or drop me either a text, give me a call, email me, joe@kehrigteam.com. And if you want to learn more about the Kehrig team, visit our website, www.kehrigteam.com. This is a very fluid market. We're going to start seeing later spring more homes coming on the market, and we'll see how that affects the market. So make sure you tune in next week.